when I was having a really rough personal time, I was on stage and I would just like sometimes break down and be like, y'all, I'm having a rough one today. But like, that's just, you know, we're artists and we're humans. And I feel like it's better to show your cards on that than try to like be something you're not every time.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the dazzling world of country queen Miranda Lambert. From her bold lifestyle and big-time earnings to the freshest news shaking up the country scene. If you love a little glitz with your grit, go ahead and smash that like button and hit subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Let's begin. Early life. Born Miranda Lee Lambert on November 10, 1983, in Longview, Texas, Miranda's early life unfolded in the small, tight-knit town of Lindale, nestled in the heart of East Texas. Her upbringing was deeply intertwined with faith, music, and a strong sense of community, factors that would go on to shape her identity and drive her future career in country music. Miranda was the first child of Rick and Bev Lambert, a couple whose backgrounds and passions would leave an indelible mark on her development. Her father, a former Dallas police officer and a skilled guitarist, and her mother, a private investigator and homemaker, worked together in a private detective agency. Their eclectic lifestyle and unyielding work ethic provided Miranda with a distinctive lens through which she viewed the world. Life in the Lambert household was far from ordinary. The family experienced a period of financial hardship after Rick lost his job in law enforcement, forcing them into modest living conditions and prompting the entire family to work together as private investigators to make ends meet. Miranda often recalls assisting her parents on investigative cases, even conducting interviews and surveillance, an unusual backdrop that contributed to her sense of grit and independence. Yet, through it all, music remained a constant. Rick frequently played country and folk songs on the guitar at home, introducing Miranda to the storytelling heart of country music. This early exposure instilled in her not only a love for the genre, but also a reverence for its lyrical honesty. From an early age, Miranda displayed a fascination with performance. She began singing in public as a child, performing at local events and talent contests. Her parents recognized her musical gifts and supported her ambitions, often driving long distances to talent shows and local gigs. A pivotal moment came when she attended a Garth Brooks concert at age 9. The high-energy performance made a lasting impression, igniting a fire within her to pursue music seriously. Around the same time, she started learning guitar from her father, who helped her write her first songs that leaned heavily into traditional country themes, blending heartbreak, resilience, and Southern spirit. As Miranda entered her teenage years, her passion for songwriting grew stronger. She was inspired not only by classic country artists like Loretta Lynn and Merle Haggard, but also by Texas-based singer-songwriters such as Guy Clark and Steve Earle. She began performing at the Rio Palm Isle Ballroom in Longview, a venue that had once hosted legends like Elvis Presley and Willie Nelson. These early performances gave Miranda a taste of the spotlight and taught her the value of connecting with an audience. Her early music career received a boost when she appeared on the talent competition show Nashville Star in 2003, where she finished in third place. But even before the national spotlight found her, Miranda had already honed her craft through years of performing, writing, and embracing her Texas roots. The support of her family, especially the mentorship of her father, and the hard-learned lessons from their financially trying years contributed to the self-assured, fiercely independent spirit she would bring to her music. It was in those formative years, surrounded by country ballads, investigative files, and Texas dirt roads, that a future star was born, one whose authenticity and fire would soon make her one of country music's most powerful voices. Career and success. Her early exposure on Nashville Star in 2003 served as her formal introduction to the industry. Though she placed third, it was far from a loss. Instead, it marked a turning point. Her performance caught the attention of Epic Records, and in 2005 she released her debut album, Kerosene, a fiery collection of original songs that announced her arrival with unapologetic energy. The album debuted at #1 on the Billboard Top Country Albums chart, eventually going platinum, and singles like Me and Charlie Talking and the title track earned her immediate recognition for her gritty, no-nonsense style and strong songwriting. Lambert's breakout moment came not just from her voice, but from her authenticity. Her second album, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, 2007, elevated her status in country music with bold tracks like Gunpowder and Lead and Famous in a Small Town. The record won the ACM Album of the Year award, her first major industry accolade, and cemented her reputation as an artist who brought a fresh, edgy perspective to a genre steeped in tradition. She followed it with Revolution, 2009, which featured the hit singles The House That Built Me and White Liar, showcasing a more introspective and emotionally rich side of her artistry. The House That Built Me, in particular, became a defining song of her career, earning her her first Grammy Award for Best Female Country Vocal Performance. Throughout the 2000s, Lambert continued to climb. Her albums For the Record, 2011, Platinum, 2014, and The Weight of These Wings, 2016, pushed boundaries and explored themes of independence, heartbreak, and personal evolution. Platinum won the Grammy for Best Country Album and included standout tracks like Automatic and Little Red Wagon, blending humor and vulnerability in a way only she could. She also became the most awarded artist in Academy of Country Music history, a feat that highlighted her dominance on the country charts and her enduring connection with fans and critics alike. A major part of Lambert's influence came through her collaborative efforts. In 2011, she co-founded the all-female trio Pistol Annies alongside Ashley Monroe and Angelina Presley. The group offered a space for Lambert to experiment further with storytelling and female perspectives in country music. Albums like Hell on Heels, Annie Up, and Interstate Gospel were critical darlings, blending biting wit with Southern charm and drawing attention to women's voices in a traditionally male-dominated space. Over time, Lambert's career evolved not just musically, but strategically. She became known for blending traditional country with Americana, rock, and blues influences, reflecting her Texas roots and her desire to challenge genre norms. Her 2019 album Wildcard embraced this diversity, while her 2022 release Palomino saw her lean further into a narrative-driven, adventurous style. Songs like If I Was a Cowboy and Tourist illustrated her ever-growing range as an artist, unafraid to shift with the times. Since then, she released her 10th studio album, Postcards from Texas, which doubled down on her Texas roots by recording in Austin and co-producing with John Randall. The album includes singles like Wranglers and Run, the latter a deeply personal track that she wrote herself, and which underscores her evolution toward more introspective songwriting. More recently, in July 2025, she released a duet with Chris Stapleton, A Song to Sing, marking their first recorded collaboration and showing her continuing willingness to explore new partnerships and styles. Income and net worth. Miranda Lambert's financial success mirrors her dominance in the country music scene, her entrepreneurial drive, and her lasting impact on the entertainment industry. With an estimated net worth between $60 million and $70 million, according to multiple financial sources, Lambert has built a lucrative career by blending artistic authenticity with smart business strategy. A significant portion of Lambert's wealth has been generated through her award-winning music career. With over 10 studio albums, including both solo projects and her work with Pistol Annies, she has sold millions of records worldwide. Many of her albums have achieved platinum or multi-platinum status, and her hit singles, such as The House That Built Me, Gunpowder and Lead, and Mama's Broken Heart, continue to bring in revenue through digital downloads, streaming platforms, and radio play. As a songwriter on many of her own tracks, Lambert also earns significant royalties, further boosting her long-term income. Touring is another major revenue stream. Known for her dynamic live performances and loyal fan base, Lambert's headlining tours have consistently performed well, grossing millions annually. Her roadside bars and pink guitars, Revolution, and Wildcard tours, as well as co-headlining shows with artists like Little Big Town and Dierks Bentley, have sold out arenas across the country. Along with ticket sales, she benefits from merchandise sales and tour sponsorships, making touring a central part of her financial portfolio. In addition to her music career, Lambert has developed a successful business empire. She launched her own lifestyle brand, Idlewind, in partnership with Boot Barn, offering clothing, boots, and accessories inspired by her Southern roots and personal style. The brand has become a hit with fans and fashion lovers alike, bringing in millions in retail sales. She also co-owns the Pink Pistol, a boutique and bar in Texas, as well as Casa Rosa, her own Nashville-based Tex-Mex restaurant and bar, which made history as the first bar in the city owned by a female country star. Lambert's wealth is further supplemented by endorsement deals and television appearances. She has been featured in ads for brands like Ram Trucks and Cotton Inc., and served as a mentor on The Voice, further broadening her reach and income sources. Lifestyle insights. While Miranda Lambert's income and influence continue to grow, her personal lifestyle offers a window into a woman deeply rooted in authenticity, personal freedom, and a love for the simple joys of life. Away from the spotlight, Lambert embraces a way of living that mirrors her music, raw, real, and unapologetically herself. Known for her bold personality and independent spirit, she's cultivated a lifestyle that combines rural charm with artistic expression, proving that fame hasn't changed the core of who she is. One of Lambert's most well-known passions outside of music is her love for animals, particularly dogs. This devotion led her to co-found the Mutt Nation Foundation in 2009, alongside her mother, Bev Lambert. The nonprofit is dedicated to rescuing, rehabilitating, and rehoming shelter animals across the United States. Over the years, Mutt Nation has funded mobile adoption units, promoted pet adoption campaigns at her concerts, and helped countless shelters in times of crisis. Lambert is often seen traveling with several of her own rescue dogs, making them a central part of her daily life. Her commitment to animal welfare is more than just charitable, it's a cornerstone of her identity. Miranda also finds solace and inspiration in the rural lifestyle. She's an avid lover of gardening, horseback riding, and decorating vintage trailers, often customizing Airstreams with whimsical and Western themes. These hobbies, while quirky and creative, reflect her love of freedom, individuality, and nostalgia for the American South. In terms of personal style, Lambert's look is a bold blend of glam, grit, and Southern rock. On stage, she's known for edgy boots, fringe jackets, rhinestones, and a bit of outlaw flair, but offstage, she leans into laid-back comfort with denim, flannel, and boho accessories. Through her fashion brand Idlewind, she's brought that signature style to her fans, celebrating confidence, femininity, and rugged independence. Whether performing at an awards show or relaxing on her ranch, Lambert's fashion choices consistently speak to her fearless personality and Texas heritage. Lambert is also deeply connected to her close-knit circle of family and friends. She often hosts casual get-togethers, bonfires, and impromptu jam sessions at home, preferring meaningful time with loved ones over the Hollywood party scene. She credits these grounded relationships and time in nature as essential to her mental health and creative renewal. Cooking is another passion, and she's shared her love for Southern comfort food in interviews and on social media, even jokingly referring to herself as a domestic badass when not on tour. She also continues to prioritize mental wellness, reflection, and creative exploration, focusing less on fame and more on fulfillment. Miranda Lambert's lifestyle is a reflection of who she's always been, grounded, gutsy, and guided by her own rules. From rescuing dogs and designing vintage trailers to hosting cookouts and writing music by the fire, every part of her personal life feels like an extension of her artistry. Her ability to stay true to herself, through the highs and lows of fame, has made her not just a country music icon, but a symbol of strength, independence, and heart. Lambert's life off stage adds texture to her legacy, showing the world that behind the fierce voice is a woman just as committed to living with passion as she is to singing about it. Relationships and personal life. Miranda Lambert's life has been profoundly shaped by the relationships she's cultivated, both personal and professional. These bonds have anchored her through heartbreak, reinvention, and artistic growth, revealing a woman whose sense of identity is deeply tied to love, loyalty, and resilience. Whether through romance, family, friendship, or creative collaboration, Lambert's connections offer a rich and revealing look at the person behind the powerful voice. Her most high-profile romance came in the form of a country music power couple. Lambert began dating fellow artist Blake Shelton in 2006, and the two quickly became one of the genre's most talked-about duos. Their chemistry, both on stage and off, was electric, and their 2011 wedding in rural Texas symbolized what fans believed was a true country fairy tale. Throughout their marriage, they recorded emotional duets like Over You, inspired by Shelton's late brother, and supported each other's musical careers. But by 2015, the couple announced their divorce, a split that rocked the country music world and deeply affected Lambert on a personal level. While the public speculated, Lambert turned inward, pouring her emotions into the critically acclaimed double album, The Weight of These Wings. Songs like Tin Man and Vice captured the rawness of loss and the strength of starting over, marking a shift in her artistry and a milestone in her emotional evolution. In 2019, Lambert surprised fans once again by announcing that she had secretly married Brendan McLaughlin, a former NYPD officer whom she met while performing on Good Morning America. The whirlwind romance led to a quiet wedding and a shift in Lambert's personal life. One focused less on the spotlight and more on stability. McLaughlin, who has since retired from law enforcement, now travels with Lambert on tour and has become a regular presence in her public and private life. The two often share glimpses of their low-key adventures on social media, from cooking meals together to road tripping across the U.S. in their Airstream trailer. Despite her tendency to keep family matters private, Lambert remains closely connected to her parents, Rick and Bev Lambert. Bev continues to work alongside her daughter on various projects, while Rick's influence as a guitarist and songwriter in Miranda's youth laid the foundation for her musical career. These family ties, deepened by shared values and charitable work, remain one of the most consistent and grounding forces in Lambert's life. She also enjoys a tight-knit bond with her extended musical family. As a founding member of the Pistol Annies, along with Ashley Monroe and Angelina Presley, Lambert has built a creative sisterhood that transcends traditional band dynamics. Throughout her career, Lambert has maintained friendships with fellow artists who share her commitment to honesty and authenticity. She's collaborated with Carrie Underwood, Maren Morris, and Elle King, often choosing partners who align with her belief in championing women's voices in the industry. These relationships, while sometimes played out under the intense glare of celebrity culture, remain deeply personal and grounded in mutual respect. In recent months, Lambert has also found herself at the center of rumors and speculation surrounding pregnancy. After being seen at several public events wearing looser-fitting outfits and abstaining from alcohol at gatherings, some fans and media outlets began speculating that she might be expecting her first child with McLaughlin. One particularly viral moment came when she was photographed at what was described as Carrie Underwood's baby shower, appearing to glow, according to certain gossip columns. However, Lambert has not confirmed any pregnancy, and her representatives have not made any official statements. When asked in interviews about her future family plans, Lambert has expressed openness to the idea of expanding her family, but has remained firm in maintaining her privacy. She has also spoken candidly about finding joy in her role as a stepmother and the peace she's found with her current lifestyle, centered around love, music, animals, and nature. As for the rumors, Lambert has largely chosen not to respond directly, letting her actions and her silence speak for themselves. Sources close to her suggest that she is content with where she is, and any decisions about children will be made on her own terms and timeline. Ultimately, Miranda Lambert's relationships reflect a deeply personal and fiercely independent spirit. She loves wholeheartedly, grieves authentically, and surrounds herself with people, be it family, friends, or fans, who value real connection over curated image. Whether navigating heartbreak, forging new love, or staying loyal to her roots, Lambert's relationships add a profound emotional depth to her story. They are the framework behind her most powerful music and the foundation of her lasting legacy as a woman who lives, loves, and creates without apology. Real estate. Flowing naturally from Miranda Lambert's deeply rooted personal life and her strong sense of identity, her real estate portfolio is less about flash and more about freedom, peace, and the kind of comfort that speaks to the soul. Much like her music, Lambert's approach to homeownership is grounded in authenticity, creativity, and a love for the land. One of the crown jewels of Lambert's real estate holdings is her 400-acre farm in Prim Springs, Tennessee, located about an hour south of Nashville. Purchased in 2016 for approximately $3.4 million, the estate has become Miranda's primary residence and safe haven, a place where she and her husband, Brendan McLaughlin, can retreat from the pressures of the music industry and enjoy a slower, more intentional lifestyle. This sprawling compound perfectly embodies Lambert's rustic meets modern aesthetic, with structures and spaces that reflect both her southern roots and her creative spirit. At the heart of the property is a main farmhouse featuring approximately 3,500 square feet of living space. The home blends timeless country charm with upscale comfort. Think exposed wood beams, stone fireplaces, vaulted ceilings, and wraparound porches that offer panoramic views of the Tennessee countryside. Inside, the decor is pure Miranda, cozy, eclectic, and full of personality. Vintage furniture, warm textiles, and quirky art pieces create a lived-in feel that is stylish without ever feeling staged. But the farm is more than just a house. It's a full-fledged homestead. The property includes multiple guest cabins, a large horse barn, fenced pastures, and even a 6-bay garage with a caretaker's apartment above. There's a stocked private lake, complete with its own dock and boathouse, as well as wooded walking trails that cut through the rolling hills. Animals, both pets and livestock, are a core part of life on the farm. Lambert shares the space with her many beloved rescue dogs, horses, and chickens, creating a space that's equal parts home, sanctuary, and animal refuge. In addition to her Tennessee property, Lambert previously owned a luxurious estate in Forest Hills, Nashville, which she purchased in 2015 for $1.8 million and sold in 2020 for $2.6 million. The home boasted 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and over 6,800 square feet of space. With its high-end finishes and proximity to downtown Nashville, it offered a more traditional form of celebrity real estate. However, it was clear that as Lambert's personal priorities shifted from public figure to private peace seeker, so did her real estate strategy. Selling the city mansion marked a turning point, a move towards simplicity, intentional living, and getting back to her roots. Miranda's real estate choices also reflect her evolution in both life and career. Early in her success, she sought proximity to the industry and embraced Nashville life. But in more recent years, she has deliberately chosen privacy over proximity, connection over convenience, and soul over spectacle. Her Prim Springs farm is the kind of property built for living, creating, and loving, not just impressing. In the end, Miranda Lambert's real estate portfolio is a seamless extension of her public persona and private self. Each home she has owned, whether it be a mansion in Music City or a lakeside cabin on her own land, tells a story of a woman who knows what she wants: space to roam, room to breathe, and a home that feels just as wild and real as the music she writes. Cars and vehicles. Just as Miranda Lambert's real estate choices echo her love of rustic luxury and personal freedom, her relationship with vehicles has long reflected her independent spirit, country roots, and a fondness for the open road. In her early years, long before the fame and awards, Lambert's first vehicle was a used red Jeep Wrangler, a car that perfectly suited her fiery personality and small-town Texas lifestyle. She's often mentioned how that rugged Jeep gave her a sense of freedom, whether cruising back roads near Lindale or hauling music gear to early gigs. It wasn't flashy, but it was dependable and bold, much like the young singer behind the wheel. As Lambert's fame grew, so did her garage. Over the years, she's added several unique vehicles to her collection, but she's never strayed far from her roots. One of her most recognizable rides is a two-tone 1955 Chevy truck, affectionately known to fans as Tammy, named after country legend Tammy Wynette. It's not just a showpiece, it's a cherished piece of Americana that mirrors her blend of tradition and rebellion. Another highlight of her collection is her Airstream trailer fleet, which includes customized vintage models like Wanda the Wanderer. These mobile homes reflect her love for life on the move. Used during tours or retreats on her Tennessee farm, they're not only practical, but also a reflection of her quirky, creative energy. Each trailer is styled with flair. Cowgirl chic meets bohemian traveler, and serves both functional and aesthetic purposes in her personal and professional life. While she's not known for extravagant supercars or exotic imports, Lambert's collection has grown to include modern pickups and SUVs that suit her rural lifestyle, such as Ford F-150s and Range Rovers, combining rugged performance with a touch of luxury. She's often seen driving herself to events or around town, preferring the control and comfort of her own ride over the formality of hired drivers. Lambert has also auctioned vehicles for charity, most notably donating a bright pink 2010 Dodge Ram 1500 Laramie Crew cab truck to benefit her Mutt Nation Foundation, raising thousands for shelter animals. It was a move that showcased her generosity and her signature blend of grit and heart. When it comes to touring, Lambert, like many major artists, often travels by luxury tour bus, equipped with everything from a writing nook to a full kitchen. She occasionally opts for private air travel, especially when balancing performance schedules with downtime at her farm. But no matter how she travels, Lambert is never far from the road. It's where she finds stories, inspiration, and a sense of home. That brings us to the end of this story. If you enjoyed it, don't miss the other celebrity journeys waiting for you on screen. Thanks so much for watching.